Hi, welcome to Social Abandonment Strategies. INTJs are commonly known as being so arrogant. And sometimes people think that they are so mean and they are cold-blooded. Now, I want to deny those statements, but unfortunately, I can't. But they are not entirely true though, because they are only true to a certain point. Now, in this video, I'm going to explain what I just told you with reasons. So let's get right into it.
So the main question is this: how are introverts like us, who didn't use any special tricks to talk to others, can still be seen as confident? How do we manage to just stay in our room for most of the time and yet still make friends without being needy? And that is the big question that this channel will answer for you. Welcome to Social Abandonment Strategies.
Welcome back. It is very commonly known that INTJs are too arrogant and too mean and they are so cold-blooded. Now let me say that it is not entirely true. We might be arrogant from time to time, but it is not all we are. We are much better than that. We are arrogant only to a certain point. Now let me explain further. The first reason for us to be arrogant is we overanalyze things. Now what does that have to do with arrogance? When we first overanalyze things, we thought, oh, not everybody does this. We also noticed lots of things around us which we never did. And after noticing it, we try to analyze them. And after analyzing them, we try to learn from those. So we got lots and lots of new knowledge and new experiences, which really made us feel like we are just developing so rapidly. Now, we were really developing rapidly. We were growing a lot just because we were analyzing and we were aware of our situation and our surroundings. Now, this is a very good thing to do, but still, it doesn't give us the reason and the excuse to be arrogant. I understand that. But that doesn't mean that we are all arrogant. When we first thought that we were the shit, we were a little bit arrogant, I admit that. But from time to time, now that we have grown a lot, now that we have developed, most of us have already learned that we shouldn't be arrogant. And most of us have already tried to not be arrogant too. So even though we were analyzing things and we were very arrogant because we thought we were better than them, it is not a good thing to do. And as we grew, we have changed. Most of us are not arrogant because of that reason now. And so the next reason for us to be arrogant is because we think we are smart. Now the reason that we think we are smart is because we notice things that most people don't. And after noticing, we don't just keep it like, oh, we just notice things. We don't just do that. We try to analyze them. We try to learn from them after noticing and analyzing. So we learn lots of new knowledge and we get lots of new experiences. And after learning from that, we don't just keep it like that too. We try to think about it again and again so that we can, learn from more of that. We try to go back to the moments, we try to go back to our memories, but we replay the things in our heads just because we want to learn. And sometimes we can't stop it. Sometimes we overthink things. Now that is our problem. And sometimes we even think like, oh, what do they think about in their little brains all the time? Because they are not noticing things, because they don't notice things, they don't analyze things. So what are they thinking about all day? Observation is a good thing to do. You guys should observe more and analyze more. But that doesn't give us the reason to be arrogant. I totally understand that. We should not be arrogant. We should treat people nicely. I know that. And as I already know that, most people might already know that too. Now, what I just said, the thing that I just said, as I already know that, most people might know that too. That is not arrogant. Now, most INTJs have already developed. So as they have developed, they have already noticed some things that it doesn't make a difference when you tell people like you are good at analysis and you're doing this, you're doing that. They don't really care. So our arrogance did not last so long. At least for the most of us. But some of us who still can't get over it might still be arrogant because they think that they are better than the world, they are better than the others. Now they might actually be better than others. But still, I think that it is not an excuse for being arrogant. And also, as INTJs, we try to improve. We always try to improve ourselves. So arrogant is not good. We try to change. And so let's go on to the third point, which is, hey guys, if you like this video so far, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button so that you will get notified every time I put out cool stuffs about INTJ. And so let's continue. And so let's go on to the third point, which is we think we are capable of doing anything that we put our minds to. Now, some of you might agree with this, some of you might not, because some of you think that having a talent plays a huge role in this. Now, I don't totally deny that having a talent is good, but even if you don't have talent, I believe you can learn things. You can learn to be good at something even though you don't have any talents. But to do that, I believe we need focus, we need total focus, we need determination, and we need the right mindset, and we need to not give up. So if we have those, if we work really hard for it, I believe we can be good at anything. But still, it doesn't mean that we have to be arrogant about it. Now, the reason for us to be arrogant is because we believe that so much, and also we are over-analytical, so which gives us the edge, which makes us think that we are better than most people, so we become arrogant. Sometimes when we see someone who have already achieved what we want to achieve, then we think like, oh, if he can do it, I can do it too. I think I can do it better because I notice things that they don't. I analyze things that they don't. I learn things that they don't. So if I do that, I can be better than him. Now, we might become better than him. We might not become better than him. No matter what the odds. If you really work hard for what you want, doesn't matter if you are an INTJ or if you are not an INTJ, it doesn't really matter. If you try hard for what you want, if you work really hard with the right mindset, if you are learning from your mistakes rather than making those same mistakes again and again, then I believe that you're going to succeed. There is a high chance that you're going to succeed in whatever you do. But if you don't learn from your mistakes, doing the same mistakes again and again, then what's the point? The purpose of that mistake is to make you learn from it so that you will not make that mistake again and you will grow. Anyways, let's go on to the fourth point, which is logical thinking. Now, most of us believe that most people in the world are emotional. So emotional that we don't even understand them sometimes. Being emotional is like being part of human. I understand that we are logical, but also that doesn't mean that we don't have any emotions. Everyone has emotions, right? Even the INTJs have emotions. Seriously, we have emotions. It's just that we don't express much. We don't express our emotions much because we think it doesn't make a difference. Whether we express our emotions or not, it doesn't change the situation. It doesn't make it better. So rather than being emotional at difficult situations, we try to be logical. We try to solve the problem. Now, let's supposedly say that you are having some difficulties. You're stuck at something. Now, rather than feeling so emotional and rather than using your time and effort and energy into feeling depressed and feeling sad and disappointed about that failure, that thing that you are getting, that difficulty, don't you think that it's better to be logical and try to solve that problem? Try to come up with ideas and work hard for solving that problem. I don't think being emotional will really help you at that case. Because the sooner you figure out the problem, the sooner you can get out of there. So why don't you do it? Now, being logical plays a huge role in making us think that we are the best, we are better than people, which makes us arrogant. Now, the main reason for being arrogant is because we think that we are better than others. It might be true, it might not. But we don't tell people that we are arrogant, right? Most people think that we are arrogant just because of the way that we hold ourselves, just because of the way that we talk, because we are quiet sometimes, just because we don't talk to them much, they think that, oh, that guy thinks he's the best, that guy thinks he's the highest. What I've learned is if you tell people not to be emotional, if you tell people like, hey, don't be so emotional, this is not going to do good for your problem, for your case, it doesn't really work. Everyone who have tried that knows that it doesn't work most of the time. So rather than doing those, rather than telling them not to be emotional, don't you think it's better to understand them and talk to them in their own language? Now, we want to convince them to not be so emotional and work hard for solving that problem that they are having. So, and the problem is we can't tell them logically. We can't tell them our perspective. because they don't understand. They don't really care anyway. So it doesn't make a difference. Now, there are tons and tons of misunderstandings and myths about INTJs, which I'm gonna talk about in the next video. When we try to understand them better, when we try to understand their emotions, and we can try to talk to them in their own language, which is emotionally, rather than talking in our language, which is logically. So I'm not entirely sure how to do that yet, but I believe that it might work. So right now, I'm trying to understand more people. I'm trying to understand their emotions and how they think, so that I can influence them better. Now guys, take it as a challenge. Try to learn to understand more people. Try to learn about their emotions. And after you have learned about their emotions, then you can speak to them emotionally. You can speak to them the way that they're gonna listen to you, right? Not the way that you want to listen, but the way that they want to listen. And so, that's all for today.
Hey Introverted Warriors, thanks for watching. If you'd like to learn how to properly embrace your introverted qualities without feeling insecure, like the video, subscribe to this channel to be one of the Introverted Warriors, and watch another video of social abandonment strategies, and we'll talk again very soon. Remember, one right mindset is all it takes.